Hi Shelby, how you doing? Okay, you're saying that this is the fifth element designs I've been able to put together this week in the banners and flags. So let's go and take a look. Okay, we have this from last week. You know how I feel about these. I love them. I've been looking forward to seeing your work, to be honest with you. I loved the first presentation. This stuff that you included last week or earlier, I loved it. And I think I've got some really good suggestions for you that are going to make some great sense. We saw these are fantastic. Likewise. Now, this, I think one of the cool things about this is that you're introducing new and assorted patterns. And normally I would say, stick with one of these patterns and because this one has like kind of these jagged edges, and I'm not a big fan of this as much as I am of this. The nice thing about this pattern and this pattern is they have the same feel. They really have this really consistent feel, and I think it's fantastic. Um, I really do. I love it. This one is a little bit fragmented in terms of visual consistency. So, but then at the same time, it's not completely far off. Like it belongs in a different package altogether. And I think that's the beauty of what you're working on in your patterns and your backgrounds. I think it's really strong. Even this right here just has the same feel because you're using repeating patterns. That circle that you've used here, 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 and it's just repeating itself. So that's really a fantastic thing, and that's why it's got this nice cohesiveness to it. A couple of recommendations. See this pattern right here? It's lovely. I really enjoy it. It looks fantastic up here. I'm wondering, boy, it would look great on the tickets, the background of the tickets, that red, even with the gradient. Even with that kind of light gray or dark gray to red gradient, I think it would look fantastic with that pattern. Would really draw some nice consistency too. Likewise, here. Um, so think about that. The only other thing I have to mention is you're well on your way. You know what you're doing. I mean, you're off to a fantastic package. I can tell already. The one thing I would recommend is this: watch your placement in Photoshop because right now it looks like it definitely is skewing the work considerably. Let me show you what I mean by zooming in to this banner right here. All right, now we know the Olympic rings are round, right? But we also know your logo is round. However, it's placed here. It's turning into an oval, and I don't know if that's so much that it's been transformed in Photoshop to fit this area, or if it's been stretched, because these are definitely ovals as opposed to circles. Do you see what I'm saying? See how it almost looks skewed? And again, I don't know if it's been stretched to fit, but we don't have that phenomenon here. So it seems like this one was created with that in mind. So just food for thought. The other thing is I think that, Nagano 2022 bleeding off the side of the banner, I think that's fine. And presented on an angle, it's fine as well because it's carried on over here. And I think that's the only place you present it at an angle. So it's just remember that angle right there and remember you're using it and don't, use it again so that it's not just an isolated incident. And the other thing is this, is like I said, I don't mind it bleeding off. You got bleeding off the banner here, 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 down here. But this Nagano right here is really close to the edge, which it's not bleeding. If it were bleeding, it would be probably presented much bigger. And as such, I think that the type, it's really too close to the edge. It's okay to bleed or not to bleed, but don't come so close where it looks like you haven't made a decision. It's so close here. Let me show you what I mean. See how that's almost up into the fold of the flag? That looks like it's a possible mistake. This is clearly intended to go off the side of the page, as is this. I'm sorry, the side of the banner. And that looks very intentional. Likewise here. But over here, whoops. But over here, it just looks like that is just so close to the edge without bleeding that I would move it down a little bit. I think that's the only area. Down here, same thing. If you use that barricade, it's really going to be close. Other than that, that's really all I have as far as recommendations go, because I'm a big fan of where this is going, and I'm really enjoying what you're doing. Right now it's just the matter that the name of the game now is just really starting to develop this consistent relationship with the viewer. So that's going to be done through many different placement items, and really use your imagination here. I mean, what can this go on? I'm sorry, not this. What can this go on? What can your graphics go on? What can we put it on? Merchandising, websites, program, banners, environmental graphics, building graphics, and so on and so forth. Sweat socks, tennis shorts, golf shirts, babies' diapers. I mean, your imagination is really the name of the game here. So let's just really start pumping this out. And what I'm seeing is fantastic. So just keep up the great work. All right. Any questions? Let me know. Thank you very much, Shelby.